You're sitting at your desk. A calendar ping reminds you of a meeting. You groan, click the Zoom link, and brace yourself for lag, awkward silences, frozen faces, and talking over each other. But what if, instead of staring into a 2D grid of tired eyes, your colleague suddenly appears right in front of you, not on screen, but right there, life size, gesturing, making eye contact, moving naturally? You can walk around them, they can point at something in your room. That's not a sci fi scene anymore. It's called holographic telepresence, and it's not just a cool party trick. It could change how we work, negotiate, teach, and connect globally. So, the big question now is this: will it replace Zoom, or will it just be the next flashy tech we forget about? Let's break it down. Chapter 1: Beaming People into Rooms. To understand holographic telepresence, forget what you've seen in Star Wars. We're not talking about flickering blue ghosts. We're talking about full scale, real time, interactive 3D projections that trick your brain into thinking the person is physically present. The tech behind it is a mix of high resolution 3D capture, depth sensing cameras, AI based rendering, and light field or volumetric display systems. It captures a person from multiple angles in real time, compresses that data fast enough to be sent over a network, and reconstructs it on the other end into a 3D projection that looks and moves just like the real person. And no, you don't always need a headset, that's the wild part. Companies are building room scale displays where the hologram floats in space. Some systems even use glass panels, mirrors, or light bending optics to achieve the illusion. Big names are in this game: Microsoft's Mesh platform, Cisco's holographic room prototypes, and smaller startups like Proto and ARHT Media are betting on a future where holograms become a standard communication tool. And they're not just demoing it for tech expos, they're showing it off in boardrooms, medical training, and even live entertainment. In 2022, the CEO of PwC appeared as a hologram in Dubai while physically being in London. In Japan, teachers are beaming into classrooms to teach English face to face with no travel needed. This isn't vaporware, it's real, and it's getting better. But here's the thing: none of this is new in concept. The desire to replicate real presence across distance goes back over a century. The telephone let us hear each other. Video calls let us see each other. Holographic telepresence wants us to feel like we're together. It's not just about visuals, it's about social cues. When someone leans forward, looks you in the eye, or turns their body, those micro behaviors change how we interpret tone, emotion, and trust. Zoom flattens all of that. Holograms bring it back. Still, the experience isn't perfect, not yet. The cost of these systems is high. The fidelity depends on ultra fast data transfer, which means high bandwidth, low latency, and powerful compute on both ends. You can't do it from a coffee shop with weak Wi Fi. So, why are companies investing millions into it? Because the payoff is massive, and it's not just about looking cool. Chapter 2: Why Presence Still Matters in a Digital World. Think about how much is lost in a regular video call. You can't tell who someone is really looking at in a group Zoom. You miss body posture, gestures get cut off, you hesitate to interrupt because of audio lag. These aren't just annoyances, they reshape how we interact. In business, that can mean deals go slower. In education, it can mean students check out. In healthcare, it can mean doctors miss subtle cues. Presence changes outcomes. That's the bet holographic telepresence is making. In high stakes environments, think C-level negotiations, international diplomacy, elite education, or telemedicine, the cost of miscommunication is enormous. Holographic tech promises to restore nuance. For example, instead of flying a specialist across the world, you could beam them into an operating room where they can guide a procedure, point to scans in 3D, and talk to the team like they're standing there. That's a leap forward from just sharing a screen. Same with product design. Imagine two engineers in different countries working on a car engine, walking around the same holographic model. tweaking it live. There's a spatial intuition you just don't get from 2D tools. This isn't wishful thinking. NASA already uses mixed reality holograms to train astronauts and visualize mission environments. The US Army is experimenting with holographic planning tools for battlefield strategy. Architects are using volumetric display tables to let clients walk through virtual spaces in real time. These use cases are driven by one thing: presence leads to better understanding. Better understanding leads to better decisions. Still, there's a cost hurdle. Full scale setups can run into six figures. Not everyone can afford a holobox or a light field display wall, but the tech is following a familiar curve. 10 years ago, VR cost thousands and looked like a gimmick. Today, you can get a Meta Quest for a few $100s and play immersive games, attend virtual concerts, or join 3D meetings. Holographic systems are heading in the same direction. Costs will fall, hardware will shrink, AI will compress and render faster, and eventually, it won't feel like a premium. It'll feel like the new baseline. The hybrid work revolution after 2020 cracked open this market. Suddenly, executives started thinking, if remote work is here to stay, how do we upgrade from Brady Bunch style grid calls? Holographic telepresence entered the conversation as the next evolution. A lot of companies are hedging their bets. They are not killing Zoom, but they are testing holograms for leadership offsites, onboarding, even town halls. There is also a cultural shift happening. In person used to mean commitment. Showing up mattered. Holograms might change that perception. If you can beam in with full presence, maybe it is showing up. And maybe the next step isn't replacing Zoom but integrating with it. Imagine a Zoom call where key participants appear as holograms while others join from laptops. That hybrid form might be the bridge. Of course, this raises questions. Who gets access to this tech? Does it widen the digital divide? Will we start judging people's presence based on how high fidelity their hologram is? It's not just about tech, it's about norms, social expectations, status, equity. But while the sociology plays out, one thing is clear: we've entered an era where flat screens no longer feel like enough. Chapter 3: From Gimmick to Infrastructure. Right now, holographic telepresence still feels like something out of a tech demo. Most people haven't experienced it firsthand, but that's exactly how Zoom felt 15 years ago. Back then, video conferencing was clunky, expensive, and mostly used by big companies. Today, it's so normal that Zoom fatigue is part of the culture. Holographic communication might follow the same trajectory. What feels rare today could feel routine in a decade. The real transformation will come when the infrastructure catches up. We're talking about 5G, edge computing, distributed AI rendering, and ultra low latency networks. When these are widespread, streaming full body holograms in real time won't seem outrageous. You'll need fewer cameras, less processing power, more interoperability. It's already happening. Proto's hologram boxes are getting slimmer. Microsoft is investing in cloud rendering for holographic content. Even Apple's new spatial computing push hints at a future where mixed reality interactions become daily habits. The shift will also depend on context. Not every meeting needs holograms. You don't need to beam into a weekly check-in with your team. But for pitch meetings, investor calls, public speaking, or sensitive negotiations, the stakes are higher. The payoff for high fidelity presence becomes worth the effort. Think of it like flying business class. You don't do it for every trip, but when the situation calls for it, the upgrade matters. Then there's the entertainment industry: live concerts with remote performers, comedy shows with holographic avatars interacting with the audience, even film promotion. In 2023, actor Chris Pratt appeared as a hologram in multiple global theaters to introduce the Mario movie. That kind of presence gets attention. Now, picture that filtering into politics, campaigns, activism. One person appearing in 50 cities at once, not on screen, but in 3D space, walking, gesturing, connecting. That's a powerful tool, maybe even too powerful. With every technological leap, there's a cultural reckoning. Deepfakes already blur the line between real and synthetic people. Holograms add another layer. What happens when a politician beams into your city, but it's an AI powered projection mimicking them? How do we verify identity in a world of photorealistic presence? This isn't paranoia, it's preparation. If we're going to build the infrastructure for mass holographic communication, we need to think ahead, not just about what's possible, but what's ethical, secure, and equitable. Still, the practical question remains, will this replace Zoom? Probably not fully. At least, not soon. Zoom is easy. It works on old laptops. It's good enough for most use cases. But the better question might be, when will Zoom start to feel outdated? When will the experience of talking to a flat face on a screen feel like using a fax machine in the age of email? Holographic telepresence might not replace Zoom, but it could redefine what showing up really means. Just like we once moved from phone calls to video, we might now move from video to volumetric. That future is being built right now in labs, in boardrooms, on stages, and soon, maybe in your own living room. Thanks for watching. Check out the references in the description to explore further.